Most people will never figure this out. They'll go through life thinking being smart means remembering facts, quoting books, or getting straight A's. But deep down, you know something's off because you've seen people with degrees make dumb decisions and you've wondered, if they're so smart, why do they keep messing up? Here's the truth. Being smart isn't about knowing more. It's about seeing differently, thinking in a way most people never even consider. Today, you're going to learn 5 mental shifts that don't just make you smarter. They make you dangerously effective. The kind of person who walks into a room and changes the whole temperature. No ego, no bragging, just calm, quiet power. In the next 6 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how the top 10% think differently. These aren't complex theories. These are practical mental tools you can start using immediately, and stay to the end to learn what happens when you use them together. But first, let me tell you why everything you think you know about intelligence is backwards. Most people turn disagreements into battles. They argue, get defensive, try to prove the other person is stupid. But smart people don't play that game. They don't need to win. They want to understand. Instead of, "You're wrong," they ask, "Help me understand why you think that." Instead of, "That's ridiculous," they say, "What made you feel this way?" Here's the genius. When you stop fighting and start asking, people actually listen. They don't get defensive. They open up. That's when minds change. Smart people know this secret. You can't force someone to agree with you, but you can help them think through their ideas. And when they do that, they often change their own minds. The person who asks the best questions controls the conversation. Most people get stuck on small problems. They fail a test and think they're stupid. Someone rejects them and think they're worthless. One bad day means everything is falling apart. But smart people zoom out like a camera. They don't see one bad test. They see a pattern. Maybe they need to study differently. Maybe they need more sleep. Maybe they need help. They don't see rejection as proof they're not good enough. They see it as information. What can they learn? What can they try next time? When you zoom out, problems become puzzles. And puzzles can be solved. Smart people ask, what's really going on here? What can I control? What should I try next? They don't panic. They plan. Most people waste enormous energy worrying about things they can't control. What friends think about them. Whether it will rain. If their boss is in a bad mood. Smart people have a simple rule. If I can't control it, I don't think about it. Can't control if it rains. Can't control bringing an umbrella. Can't control what people think. Can't control being kind and honest. Can't control getting the job. Can control doing your best in the interview. This saves them massive energy. Energy they use to actually solve problems and make things better. When you stop worrying about everything, you start fixing the things that matter. Most people are scared of quiet moments. When there's silence, they rush to fill it. They talk just to talk. But smart people are comfortable with quiet. They think before they speak. They listen more than they talk. Silence makes people pay attention. When you pause before answering, people think your answer will be important. Quiet people often seem smarter than loud people, not because they know more, but because they choose their words carefully. Try this. Next time someone asks you a question, count to 3 before answering. You'll be amazed how much better your responses become. The person who speaks the least often knows the most. Most people react to everything immediately. Someone cuts them off, they get mad. Someone says something mean, they snap back. Something goes wrong, they complain. But smart people pause. When something bothers them, they take a breath. They ask, is this worth getting upset about? What's the best way to handle this? When someone is rude, they don't fire back. They think, this person might be having a bad day. How can I respond in a way that helps? This isn't about being weak. It's about being smart. The person who stays calm while everyone else gets emotional, that person has power. Observation creates insight. Insight beats impulse every time. Here's what happens when you combine all 5 techniques. You don't just get smarter. You become a different category of person entirely. You start seeing solutions where others see problems. You stay calm when others get stressed. You make better decisions because you're thinking, not just reacting. People start coming to you for advice. They want to know how you stay so cool under pressure. They wonder why you always seem to know what to do. And the best part? None of this requires you to be born smart or special. It just requires you to pay attention, to think before you act, to choose your responses instead of just reacting. That's what real intelligence looks like. Look, these 5 mental shifts are simple to understand, but not easy to master. They require you to think differently than most people. Most people won't do this. They'll keep arguing, worrying, and reacting to everything. They'll stay stuck in the same patterns that keep them average. But you're not most people. You didn't watch this video to stay the same. You watch because you want to think better and operate at a higher level. So, here's your choice. You can close this video and go back to thinking like everyone else. Or you can start practicing these techniques and join the 10% who see the world differently. The person who asks instead of argues, who sees systems instead of situations, who focuses on what they can control, who uses silence as power, who observes before reacting. That's not luck or talent. That's awareness. And awareness outsmarts almost everything. If you want more techniques that separate the top 10% from everyone else, subscribe. We publish fresh content weekly. And if this video made you think about how you think, give it a like for doing you that favor. Now, stop thinking like everyone else and start outsmarting 90% of people.